Hi guys, hope you're well. Welcome to DOdaily. It's Des here, who's ready to attack a brand new week. Definitely looking forward to it myself. Definitely in high spirits and an absolutely brilliant weekend. You'll probably notice my voice is a bit croaky. Not quite sure why, despite the fact England won. Didn't really have to shout too much at the weekend. Feel a little bit under the weather too. But other than that, I feel fine. A little bit tired, a little bit run down, but I feel absolutely fantastic. The result was fantastic from the football. I said I'd be watching that. The weather's been amazing. But there just seems to be a coming together again, despite that latest announcement by Boris not too long ago. We all knew what was coming in the end, so there's nothing to be too disappointed about. And whilst it is slightly disappointing, at least we're not going back. We're maintaining where we are. The last thing we all need is lockdown and a sort of reversing on these decisions. So it's just a case of being patient, sitting tight. I'm frustrated. I can understand the frustration from others, but we just have to keep doing the things that we've been doing, don't we? Like I say, I feel a real sort of sense of enthusiasm and community building in the things I do and the places I visit, and I've really sort of picked up on that this weekend. Been absolutely brilliant. So whilst I've had a good time, probably one of the reasons I'm feeling a little bit run down, I'm trying to sort of stay positive through all that and through this bad news, because this is just a temporary blip, the way I feel, the frustration. We've got to keep striving to keep being the best version of ourselves we can, to keep enjoying what we've got, to keep enjoying what's out there. And of course, on a Monday, that's what DOdaily is all about. It's about highlighting the offer, highlighting what we can do throughout the week. What I will say before I go into that is this week is Men's Health Awareness Week. And whilst, of course, that targets a certain demographic, I'm not going to apologise for that through DOrunning, through DOdaily. What I look to do through the community interest side of everything that happens, what I try to do is address issues that disproportionately affect different demographics, and hopefully this week we can do that, because the reality is if we can help men who are probably less likely to talk, less likely to tackle their issues, ultimately it improves the situation for us all, doesn't it? And whilst you can label the blame at men for this, that and the other, you certainly can. There's lots of good guys out there who get it wrong. And to be honest, I've been there myself. The reason I do everything I do today is because I found myself in a position where I felt a bit lost in my mid-30s, not quite knowing what was next, and it was difficult to see a way out. Fortunately, I've managed to dig deep, and running became a big thing about what I do, and I'm able to take that forward and do things on the back of it. Not everybody is as fortunate to sort of get to that point where they can do something about it, and they need help. And all I'm trying to do now, all DOdaily is about, is a male perspective on how we can sort of be that better version of ourselves, how I can be, how I can keep checking in, how I can try to make other men, women feel comfortable. But as a male, of course, I've got a little bit better of an understanding of how you can sort of let these issues build up a little bit, and that's really important, isn't it? The theme, what they're putting on this, the Men's Mental Health Foundation, is can do. So there's 5 days of actions that men and those around them can take to sort of get involved in different things, to think about, so sort of running down, it's connect, action, I think it's need, discuss and offer. And day by day I'll discuss those. It's something we do quite a lot through DOdaily anyway. Today is about connection, that's what DOdaily is, isn't it? So even if you're just viewing this, you're connecting in a way, whilst it's one-sided in terms of what I'm saying. You're at least putting yourself out there, giving yourself the opportunity to listen, maybe take advice. But the real sort of effort will be in almost connecting with an old friend, somebody you've not seen during the pandemic. I've encouraged this a lot at different points for all to get involved in. It might be that you've got a male friend, you might be female, who you can connect with, who you can check in with, who you can ask if they're okay. I spend a lot of my time doing this every single day, but just these little things really make a difference. And like I say, whilst it is essentially about men, there's ways female, women, can get involved and really support what's happening, and really sort of bring everybody back on a par. I'm not saying one sex or all the sexes are any different to each other. It's just important to realise how we can work together. I've always said whenever there's an issue, it's about being as inclusive as you possibly can. And until you put everybody in the same sort of situation, you're never going to address some of these issues. We lived in a world in the last couple of years, whether it be Brexit, whether it be coronavirus, war, religion, we've lived in a divided world that sometimes gets so far sort of wide of the mark, it's hard to believe anymore. But by addressing things like this, by talking about it, by discussing, by just reconnecting sometimes, just asking that question, it can be just a thing. So today I'm urging everybody to start the week feeling good by reaching out or sort of asking for that help. Like I say, even just checking into this, it's a start. You might pick up something from me, and then tomorrow when it's about action, it's about getting involved. Of course, we've got the solidarity session, something everybody can get involved in, whether it's in person or virtually, So that's a brilliant sort of link into that, and it's a brilliant way to sort of keep talking about what we're doing. Of course, I'll be back after the solidarity session for a check-in. Tuesday training, of course, we do it every week, but it's about action in this particular campaign. So there's a perfect link there, perfect opportunity to use that to feel a lot better about what you're doing. And as the week progresses, the can do, CANDO, and again the do, perfect relation into what we do. They couldn't have scripted it better for us, but it's perfect. I can't think of them all. I said, yeah, sorry, I lost my train of thought there. So the Wednesday's about need, Thursday is about discussion, and again, do Thursday thoughts, don't we, where I look to answer your questions. So if you've got anything to ask this week as much as any, sometimes people get a bit nervous and think that if it's not about running, or if it's not, I can't ask that. I'm quite prepared to sort of just answer the questions anonymously. Of course, I come back with that live episode on Thursday, and then on Friday it's about offer, and that is about almost doing something for somebody else, making a gesture, offering to volunteer. How many times have I said over the last couple of weeks how good that feels? And again, there's a great link for me today. I've been feeling absolutely fantastic. I offered to support a local guy's campaign where he's looking to run 1 mile every 24 hours. And whilst I offered to support through Do Running, today I was feeling that good about what I was doing. I offered to do the same thing and try and fundraise and support even more. And again, by doing things like that, by making that offer, it's uncomfortable, don't get me wrong. I've done a lot of fundraising, I've had a lot of great support in the last couple of years, but by putting myself out there, by sort of not directly asking, because I do it through social media these days, but getting people to support me, for me to support someone else, it's fantastic, isn't it? People volunteering, whether it's a park run or whether somebody buys somebody else a coffee. I mentioned an occasion a couple of weeks ago where my phone wouldn't work and I couldn't pay, and I was getting a bit flustered, and a lady behind me bought the coffee. It was absolutely amazing. And when you do things like that, it's the first thing you can do to help yourself. And we've all got that within us. We've all got that bit of kindness, whatever situation we're in. I tend to say a lot of the time I don't have many materialistic things, but in reality I've got everything I want. and it's not about the material side. That's the point I'm making there. It's about just doing something you can do. It might just be holding a door open for somebody, but you're never going to feel worse for doing a good deed for the day. And that's what Fridays are about. Of course, I'll be waking up to walk on Friday. I've almost been through the week inadvertently there. Wednesdays are about Wednesday workout. The only one we've missed out so far. And of course, that can be in a virtual offering of the 10,000 steps challenge, or locally here in Nottingham, we've got the amazing running group what we put on as well. So there's lots to go at as ever, and if we can get involved in these things, if we can highlight what we're doing, it's the inspiration and motivation people need sometimes. All we all need to see at times is other people doing it, other people putting themselves out there. Whilst I do daily, I like to talk about my sort of honest and relatable, I hope it's relatable, take on living a man's life, the ups and downs. I spoke there about not having material things. Of course, sometimes that makes a difference, but I don't let that get on top of me anymore, and they can sort of get people down unnecessarily. If you can do something about it, you have to do something. I say that all the time, but if you can do something about it, the reason it says do there, yes, it's my initials, it gave it a perfect opportunity to be positive from the outset. It's about doing it. It's about getting out there and doing something about it, and when you do something, believe me, you never feel bad. When you don't do something, you always feel bad, when you sit and dwell, when you don't get out for that run, when you don't do what you perhaps should have done to help somebody out, when you lose that connection. We all get, going back to the connection thing today, of course, because that's the big one for the Monday of this campaign. When we don't put ourselves out there, when we do sort of withdraw ourselves, we start getting these crazy ideas, don't we? We don't just not connect on a talking level. We get these crazy ideas that people are doing this or saying this or thinking that, or don't want you to be involved in this, and it's absolutely bonkers sometimes, because as soon as you put yourself back to the situation you enjoy and you thrive within, everything all seems rosy again all of a sudden. And that's what it's all about. Over the last couple of weeks, the return of the group activity through Do Running has done so much for me, made me feel so positive. Once again, I've seen people's mood improve tenfold, unbelievably. The spirit is amazing, it's like we've never been away. But during that time away, I know people sort of experience difficult relationships with Do Running, with myself, and all of a sudden they seem to be improving. It's frustrating at the time, because we've always offered to give something through the virtual side, through the online resources, through DOdaily. But when you can get people in person, you can explain more, you can explain what you're about, people understand what you're about. People kind of look at me and go, what's he do that for? What's he do that? Because I want to help, ultimately, and because I can. And that's the point, is it? Can do, can do is the theme. I do these things. I'm helping a friend with his charity project. I'm asking people to support me so I can pass it on, because I can. If you can, I can assure you it'll make a difference. And that's how I wanted to start the week. I'm going to kind of wrap it up a little bit today, guys. As you can hear, my voice is really struggling. Again, not sure why, but I'll hopefully get a good night's sleep. I've got my Monday activity and I've never missed a Monday. If you can do that, and then if you can just talk to somebody about it, tell somebody. It's a conversation starter, isn't it? Tell somebody what you've done. Post something on social media. Don't apologise for making that connection. Do whatever works for you, but whatever you do, never miss a Monday. Today, make sure you text that friend. How long does it take to say hello? not long at all, does it? So until the solidarity session, really looking forward to that again. Like I say, in person or virtual, check out the social media links at the end of the video. I'm going to try and recover a little bit and make sure I get out and take part in plenty of good, solid action, because that's what tomorrow's all about. Until then, just doing it.